Good evening again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Olympics, okay? I haven't been watching a whole lot of the Olympics. I watched a little bit of it today. I really got to see, watch some of the golf, and saw, which I was happy to see, the Americans took the gold. And I can't remember who took the silver, but I do know I think it was Taiwan, which they didn't call Taiwan. They call it Taipei of China, Chinese Taipei. They took the bronze, and it was very good. It was a very good match. There was an American there who could have taken the bronze, but at the last minute, he got into the sand trap, and that basically cost him the match, actually. But there's been a lot of controversy over Simone Biles and this young gymnast who the last Olympics just took it all home with her, all the golds. And in this Olympics, apparently she's been having some issues, and she had to pull out. And I've been reading a lot of very nasty comments from people calling her a coward. And even I, in the very beginning, thought, well, why didn't she just give this to somebody else if she was going to pull out? But now I understand a lot better what's going on. I mean, there are several factors. First of all, this young lady, all these athletes have been sent over there, and they don't have their support group. They don't have their families with them that they normally see at the Olympics. This is an Olympics that should have never happened. Okay, to me, it was like watching, when I watched the Euro Cup, or like watching an American football game. There's no people in the crowds. It's just really just like, why? Okay. Sometimes people know why are they doing this? Okay. Why they, we have to wear masks, this kind of stuff, but why are they risking, all this stuff? So, but the Olympics, I see, it's even worse, and these athletes are not used to having, I guess, empty stadiums, empty crowds, while they're performing. I guess in some aspects it's really good for them, but the other side of it is that they don't have their support groups with them. And another factor with this young lady, Simone, is that she is suffering from ADD. Okay. Now, I know someone in my family who suffers from it, and they take the medication, and the medication helps you to be able to focus really well. Because if you don't understand what ADD is, you can't focus. You have a problem with focusing, and a lot of people, they have this problem with focusing, and what she's doing is, it's not like she's just kicking a ball. It's not like she's throwing a ball. It's not like she's shooting an arrow, and all those need focus. But what she's doing is she's manipulating her body in a way that if she was to make one wrong move, she could break something very easily. She could break her neck, snap her neck, or get injured, or hurt herself. I mean, this could happen. And so if you think about it, here she is, she's there. In Japan, it's illegal to use or to bring in the medication that she needs. So she's there without her medication. Okay, she's been there more than one day. She's been there for several weeks now, and so she doesn't have her medication. And so the stress behind this, the stress not having your family there with you, okay, the stress not having your supporters there that normally support you within your small within your clique, or your family. This is highly stressful, and for her to go out there and she's probably realized that it's just too dangerous for her, and the stress on herself, it's just too much. And especially if she has extreme ADD, she cannot focus. She can't focus on what she needs to do to compete, and it's a risk to her life. I mean, if anybody's seen what these tumblers go through, what these vaulters go through, what on the parallel bars they go through, it's just more than amazing. And this young lady does things on a level that's better than everybody else. And from what I also want to understand, I've heard a rumor, now I don't know if this is true, that the International Olympic Committee are judging her on a curve, which means that because she's so much better than everybody else, they're gonna put her on a curve so she's more equal to everybody else, which I think is completely ridiculous. If this is true, I don't know if this is true or not. You'd have to look it up. I'm waiting to see more about it, but it bothers me that this is happening. Someone who's there, and it's bothering me also that they don't allow her to use the medications that she needs also, and it's a shame that she's had to pull out. The good thing is that her teammates are actually pushing forward. It's giving them a chance. A lot of people saying, well, and I said too, why is she there in the first place? She knew this was going to happen, and I can understand that. But it's just unfair that the International Olympic Committee, and it's very unfair that the American Olympic Committee are not, fighting this, are not up in arms about this. I mean, why did we not know this before? I'm sure they did. And why are they having the Olympics right now when you're not allowed to have your family and your friends there to support you? I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, because the runners, this kind of stuff, they're just running, but you have someone who's doing something so dangerous. It's like when you see the skateboarders, this kind of stuff, that's some dangerous stuff what they're doing. And I watched some of that. This young girl, 13 years old, I mean, doing some amazing stunts and tricks. It's really amazing to see what they're doing, and they're allowing this in the Olympics now. But I'm just a bit surprised that the Olympic Committee, International Olympic Committee, has sanctioned this, is allowing basically. And look, I'm gonna tell you something. You may not like that she's there. You may call her a coward all you want to, but until you're doing it yourself, you need to think about it. You need to think twice about it. What you're talking about here. And also, this young lady was also involved in all of this. With this doctor who was raping and molesting all of these gymnasts that was under him. Hundreds of them, lots of them, lots. More than one is one is too many, but lots of them, and he's in prison for the rest of his life. She was involved in all this stuff. So you got to imagine there's a lot of stress going on there, a lot of things going on there on the international level. And I'm hoping that when she gets back, she's able to get back on her medication and she's able to continue competing. But look, because she didn't go there for nothing. She went there to compete. And what's sad is not that what's sad is that she's had to pull out. But what's even worse is that it's because of the program, because of the international program, who, first of all, they fear her because you got China, you have Russia. These teams can't compete with her. They can't compete with her whatsoever. I mean, she is just a little firecracker, and she's kicking butt out there. And in the last Olympics, she took everything away. And so they did their best. They came up with some rules. They did some stuff so that she couldn't. So quit blaming her. Okay, quit blaming her for what's going on. Because she's there, and she's not there on 100%. And for her to go out there and risk her life, and she would be risking her life, okay, or risking her future, okay. So I think people need to, I tell my son works at a grocery store in Germany on part-time while he's as a student, university, and he tells me, oh my God, I mean, I've been working in sales for almost 25 years on a retail level, and I've seen it all. I've seen everything from clients coming in wanting to attack you because you can't sell them something. Clients coming in trying to rob you. Young boys coming in because it's part of their gang to come in and hit somebody, fight somebody. Part of their initiation. Guys coming in and just I had one client came in and was masturbating in a sleeping bag. And my son actually saw that. He found the guy, caught me, and I kicked the guy out. And turned out the guy was from a local mental hospital. They allow him out for several hours a day, and he just sort of wandered in my shop. But anyway, he sees clients on a daily basis. Not on a daily basis, but he sees them when he goes into work and in a grocery store, and a lot of them are elderly, a lot of people, and just with COVID, everything, it's just making things really difficult. And people just they give him a hard time. He's told me some of the stories. I'm thinking, so the one thing I tell him, and I think it goes well across the board to everybody. If I can give you a piece of advice, you put yourself in that person's shoes. You don't know what that person is dealing with in their life. Okay, they may have just before they came into the store, or whatever, into your across your path, or driving on the road, they may have just lost a loved one. They may have just broken up with their wife or their husband. They may have just lost their job, found out that they have a disease that they're dying from, or a virus, or whatever, you name it. So people need to be a little bit more patient and a little more understanding. And something I try to live by, I try to be nice to everybody. I try to respect myself, because if you respect yourself, you respect others. And I try to be patient, okay? And I think if you do those three things, you'll get a little bit further in life, And I live up in the middle part of Switzerland and around Freiburg, and it's in the canton of Freiburg, and people are more farmers and more take their time. You get behind a tractor, you can always tell the ones who aren't from the area because they are blowing their horns and they're trying to pass them, make it dangerous, and the tractors, they can only drive a certain speed, and people have no patience. But when I drove down to Geneva last week, this past week, I saw, just getting back into that crowd of people who drive like a bunch of maniacs. They have no patience. They're not nice, and they're all about themselves. They're very egoistic, and I think that I just take my time. I'm not driving fast. I'm not trying to get a speed ticket, and I'm also not trying to get into an accident with somebody. When I first got here, it was tough because I wasn't used to all that. I'm not from the big city, but but listen, put yourself in someone else's shoes before you start condemning them, and calling them names and making decisions. I think people need to look twice. Also, you don't just support somebody because they're your color or because they're your religion, or you need to you need to also do you need to look at it a little closer then too, that they're doing the right thing, But anyway, listen, I want to thank you all for coming and listening to my little story. I've completely forgotten what I was talking to you about at the very beginning. But my friend, that's right. Like I said, he's healthy. He's doing a lot better, and he's healthy. And like I said, think about that, and and try to be more patient when it comes to people. Okay. Anyway, listen, I hope you all have a good evening and or a good morning wherever you're at. And please like, share, subscribe, leave comments. I look forward to hearing what you got to say, good or bad. I know I'm not a perfect when I'm trying to get off the top of my head things, or I'm trying to say things. I catch hell from even my daughter, who gives me hell sometimes. But anyway, you guys have a good night and take care of yourselves. And I hope to hear from you very soon. Bye-bye.